down from Edmonton. I was there last week. And I drove down yesterday, and I had everything packed up the day before, my whole plan, and everything was ready to go. And it wasn't until last night that it occurred to me that all the clothes that my Sunday best clothes, I left on hangers that I didn't want to get wrinkled, so I didn't put in my suitcase. So, what's the magic in this? Sometimes you phrase it differently. What's the damn magic in this? And I thought, man, I'm going to be like really casual tomorrow. I'm going to be really relaxed to give you this talk. I once, after giving this talk, I'm telling you a story, the next day I stubbed my toe in the bathroom. In a way, you know when you stub your toe and like, a shooting pain goes up to your brain and explodes? And I said, oh, what's the magic in this? And as a result of asking the question, because sometimes we'll get a blinding light of illumination and we'll see, right? And other times we may not know. But the answer isn't as important as answering the question. Because asking the question changes our relationship to the situation. Now I'm no longer a victim of the situation. Now I am using it to empower my life. And so I instantly went into a state of pure bliss. The pain was completely gone as a result of asking the question. So the other natural outcome from practicing this practice for many, many years. By the way, I'm going to come back to that in a moment. So you might ask yourself, so if everything's perfect just the way it is, then why would I do spiritual mind treatment to change it? My answer to that question is for the joy. If everything's perfect just the way it is, then my spiritual mind treatment, rather than doing it to change something in the world, because I can recognize that if I'm doing a spiritual treatment from a place of fullness, that this is perfect just the way it is, everything's perfect just the way it is, it's far more powerful than if I'm beginning from a place of lack, thinking, I've got to change this. What we do as human beings, no matter how long we've been in this teaching, I find, is we tend to use the world of form to inform our inner experience. And really the secret to ultimate joy and happiness and freedom and love and bliss is to simply reverse that, is use our inner experience to inform the outer experience. So when I simply continue to nurture within myself an ongoing experience of freedom, joy, and love, then everything else comes into alignment. That whatever we want manifests easily and effortlessly. That is my experience. So, what did I say I was going to come back to? I forgot. Are we having fun today? I think I got another joke for you here. You know, this inner experience of freedom and joy. I do this, the Primal Fire Intensive that you mentioned is a retreat I've been doing for the last 8 years in Canada, here in Sherwood Park, up near Edmonton and Saskatchewan. And I've done them in California. I've been doing for almost 30 years now. And I like to call it the anti-workshop because there is no ideology that we're presenting. It's all about getting out of our heads into our bodies, connecting with Mother Earth. And so everyone is just encouraged to be who they are in the moment. If you are sad, let the tears come. If you're angry, be angry. If you are happy, laugh out loud. And what happens when people, and if you want to do the exercises, do them. If it will bring you joy to just rest and lay in the sun, do that. And when people are given permission to just be who they are in the moment, something magical happens. All the shoulds drop away. And then what emerges is our innermost authentic primal self. The power of who we are. And I'm inspired to give you a quote from Busting Loose from the Money Game by Robert Scheinfeld, right now. He says, who you really are is a magnificent, omnipotent, infinite being. That no concept of power that you have ever entertained comes anywhere close to the power available to you right here and right now. That if you took all the power that we know about on this planet, all of the mechanisms, the electricity that we have harnessed, the iPhones, the bombs, the airplanes, the rockets, the nuclear power plants, and you gathered all this together, combined it with the power from Mother Earth herself, the hurricanes, the volcanoes, the earthquakes, gathered all that and magnified it 1 billion times, that would still be a speck compared to the power available to you right now, sitting in these seats as an individualized expression of God. And I see some heads nodding. I mean, that's completely impractical when you think about it from a logical perspective. And yet, heads nod when I say this because intuitively we know that. That is our potential. And wherever we are on this journey of realizing that potential is our perfect place to be. So, the secret is giving up resistance to everything. Non-attachment, like the Buddha said 300 years before the time of Christ. Not a new idea. So, I'm going to leave you with another joke. And by the way, I'll tell you about that after the joke. Okay, so, all right, so I've got either a really clean joke or I've got a somewhat risque joke. Which would you prefer? Okay, I lied to you. I didn't have a clean joke anyway. Because I knew that's what you were going to say. Because the CSL audience always do. Okay, so there's this guy lives on the 16th floor of this high-rise condo building. And he is certain that his wife is cheating on him. So he decides, I'm going to go home at lunchtime today, and I'm going to catch her in bed. So he goes home, he goes up the elevator, gets to the 16th floor, gets out, goes down the hallway, comes to his door, puts the key in, he hears some rustling inside. So he jumps inside and goes into his bedroom. His wife is lying there naked in bed, but there's no one else around. So he starts looking, he's searching under the bed, in the closet, everywhere he can look. He's getting exhausted from the search and nothing, nowhere. So he goes out on the patio, out on the balcony, and he's looking just to get a breath of fresh air. And he sees these fingertips. So he looks down, there's this guy hanging there, he starts stepping on his fingers. And the guy's holding on for dear life, and he can't hold on any longer. He falls 16 floors, lands in this bush, which saves his life. And so the husband is now like, he's so enraged that he's got superhuman strength. He goes into the kitchen, he drags the refrigerator out onto the balcony, he hoists it up, he throws it over the ledge, it falls down, lands on the guy, crushes him dead. The husband then, from all this exertion, dies instantly of a heart attack. So I know it sounded kind of bad so far. So next scene, there's this line in front of the pearly gates going into heaven. St. Peter is there ushering people in. Says to the first person in line, we're really full up in heaven now. We're only letting people in who died really horrible deaths. How did you die? And so it's the husband, and he explains the whole situation. I thought my wife was cheating, went home, searched through the place, saw this guy, threw the refrigerator over, had a heart attack, died. St. Peter says, oh, that's a horrible death. Absolutely, come in. You're welcome to be here. Next guy comes up, and St. Peter says, look, we're really, really full up in heaven. We've only got a few spaces left. Only letting people in who died really horrible deaths. How did you die? He says, well, I live on the 15th floor of this apartment, high-rise, condo high-rise, and I'm out there on my balcony doing my pull-ups like I do every single day. And this crazy man comes out and starts stepping on my fingers. I fall 15 stories, and then I'm praising the Lord for my good fortune that I landed in this bush, and all of a sudden the refrigerator falls out of the sky, lands on me and crushes me. And St. Peter says, oh, absolutely horrible, horrible death. Please come in. So he goes in, and the third guy in line comes up, and St. Peter says, really, really full up in heaven, only letting in people who died horrible deaths. How did you die? The guy says, well, picture this. I'm minding my own business, sitting there naked in a refrigerator. You haven't heard that one before. So the moral of the story is, if he was a little more peace, if he hadn't reacted the way he did, 3 people wouldn't have died. Okay, so the workshop we're doing after the service today is called The Joy Factor, a Life of Infinite Freedom. And a couple things we're going to emphasize in the workshop. One is asking the question, and this sounds intuitive, but it's amazing how many people don't do this. It's something that I encourage all my coaching clients to do, and that is to use this question to guide you in your decisions for life. What will bring you the most long-term joy? And then do that. And I'm going to show you in the workshop how that may sound impractical. Actually wake up in the morning and say, what will bring me the most joy today, and go do that. May sound impractical. I'm going to show you in the workshop how it's the most practical thing you can possibly do for your life. And I'm also going to share with you a practice that's about making positive consciousness consistent. It's the easiest, funnest practice you'll ever do. And it's amazing to me that, again, in this teaching, no matter how long we've been in it, when struggle comes up or something really challenging comes up, we tend to go into problem mode and stay there for a while. This will help you go right from problem mode to solution mode, and to maintain that consciousness on an ongoing basis. And we're going to tell some jokes and have a lot of fun. So my wish would be that everyone here could come to this workshop, because I know that we are all just going to be walking on air when we come out of it. That's what I experience with people. So if you don't have plans, join us. If you do have plans, change them. Absolutely can't change them. Sign up on my mailing list. The next time I'm going to be around, I'll let you know ahead of time. So I'll leave you with one final story. So my teacher that you mentioned in my introduction, Dr. Vivian King, who I learned psychosynthesis, a form of transpersonal psychology from for 4 years. She was in an accident and became a quadriplegic. She was hit by a drunk driver and became a quadriplegic. And I heard about this at a party. She had moved away. I talked to her in quite a few years, and somebody at this party said, "Did you hear what happened to Vivian?" And I said, "No, she was hit by a drunk driver." And she was just being moved from Texas to Long Beach, which is right not too far from me, an hour and a half away maybe. So I drove down to Long Beach that weekend to visit her. By the way, she had brainstem damage. Her head was swollen to the size of a basketball at one point. When I saw her, the swelling had gone down, but she didn't have the use of her arms, legs, or her voice. And her face was very contorted, but she still had the kind of an impish smile that she had always had before. And they were deciding where to take her for her rehabilitation after that. And it was either the San Fernando Valley, which was where I lived, or it was Orange County, which was quite a ways away. And so I happened to be there, and I said, if she ends up in San Fernando Valley, I can come and help with her physical therapy and visit her, and so on. And she had friends in Orange County, too. So it turned out, they ended up moving her to the San Fernando Valley. And in fact, they didn't know where I lived, but it was a block away from where I lived, is where they brought her. So clearly, it was meant to be. So I got to go there and be with her and spend time with her and do some energy healing, spiritual mind treatment, and help her with physical therapy. And it might sound like I'm doing stuff for her. I was the one who got the gift for her. She was such an inspiration to all of her caregivers, all of her friends. I asked her one time, "Are you angry at the person who did this to you?" And she looked at me kind of confused and said, "I don't have time to be angry. I could focus on my healing." And she learned to speak in whispers with amplification, and you could kind of barely understand it. And one time she was sitting at the table, and she had a mechanical arm that would bring her her food up to her mouth, and she wanted to be able to feed herself. And she had an apron on, and she'd be getting food all over her face and all over herself. And you might think that that would be a struggle, right? And if I was doing that, I might feel embarrassed. She would be smiling and laughing through the whole thing. She knew that she was more than her body, which is what she taught us through transpersonal psychology. So about a year before she made her transition, and she chose to leave, by the way, she said, Patrick, I am a teacher who can no longer speak. I am a writer who can no longer write. But as long as I'm in a physical body, I can remain a presence of peace, and love, and joy in this world. So sometimes when I'm in places of challenge, I think about giving. I think if she could be the presence of peace, and love, and joy in that situation, I can certainly do it when I leave my clothes behind me.